Everything's fine.
Don't buy a Chrysler. 307 Reacts, I'm Matt. That is Chris. You guys are the best audience in the world. If you caught any of that, I'm not sure what Chris is going to put in the front of this, but we do a lot of automotive talk in between shooting videos and things like that. It happens to be that he's a mechanic, and I'm like a junkyard or like a garage mechanic. You know, like I know my way around. I could get through some stuff if I needed to, and I have before in the past. But yeah, that's kind of just like the topic of conversation most of the time. So if you guys have any automotive questions, don't ask Chris. But you can feel free to put them in the comments, and maybe we'll get, it's not like a, hey, can you come? Don't ask us like, can you come work on a thing? But just like ask us, like,
I have this thing going on, and I'll pull out my crystal ball.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
And tell you, don't all.
I actually really quick. I saw a short on Facebook today of this dude that was explaining why why mechanics charge so much for what should be a simple fix, and it was like my AC won't work. Or my AC turns on, but it doesn't blow cold. And the mechanic's like, okay, it'll be however much to diagnose it. And the person's like, well, I don't understand why you're charging so much for a diagnostic. And he's like, let me explain why. And then so he goes through all the explanations, has the wiring diagram out for like a whole circuit of the thing.
Mechanic Link. I think I shared that.
Oh, was it you? Was it you that shared it with me? Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? It might have been. It might have been.
It's really good because he goes through. Okay, so we've checked this, and he marks it off.
Marks
and he goes, That's good. That's good. Check this. Mark that.
Power in, power out at this solenoid. Power in, power out at this fuse. At this juncture.
This module and this connector.
It's not the PCM. We need to check from the inside and make sure the thing actually has power. Okay, yes, it does turn on. It has control, blah, 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 this, that. And then finally, like one of the very last things, like he checks one circuit, but he only checks the top of the circuit and he doesn't check the bottom of the circuit. And then he finally finds out like, oh, okay, so we need to check this wire that actually goes into this, what I can't explain, I don't remember what it was.
Pressure transducer switch.
That thing, yeah.
Pressure transducer switch.
Gets down to it, it's all covered in tape and shit, takes all the tape off, finds out that it had been rubbing against something and the wire is literally just gone, basically. Like, he's like, yep, so it was just this one wire. So
that happened today on an injector.
Really?
Chased that thing.
Really?
Misfire all over the place. Couldn't get it to transfer. Swapped the coil over to a different cylinder. Didn't change. Still number 4. Changed the spark plug over to a different cylinder. Still number 4. And I'm like, well, clearly that's not it. So I just unplugged the injector to see if it changes, and it gets worse. And I'm like, So it's not the injector, but then I plug it in and it kind of gets better, and then it gets way worse, and then I...
Oh, and it's starting, you messing with the wires. Yeah, see?
I'm like, well, here we go.
Yep. See, that's mechanic stuff right there. Anyways, okay, so on the screen in front of... actually, we got to do a 30-second clip from our boys from 10 for 10. Here it comes. Get ready to go.
Hi, I'm Joe.
I'm John.
And we are 10 for 10. And we'd like to invite you to our live stream performance of the Battle of the Bands at Sunshine Studios Live, January 11th, 2025.
Saturday night.
You can get your ticket from the link provided, and it's a $5 ticket with a $5 handling fee. Hope to see you there.
And we're back. Did you have something before I clipped over to 10 for 10?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. So our boys in 10 for 10, you're going to be seeing this up for the next couple weeks. Our boys in 10 for 10 are playing a Battle of Bands in Colorado Springs on January 11th. We will be live streaming from our page. If you would like to contribute to that and help them with a vote for the Battle of Bands to get them to play Bratfest next year later in 2025. I think it happens in the spring or early summer. In Iowa, they get to play the main stage at Bratfest if they win this Battle of the Bands in Colorado Springs on the 11th. So if you would like to help contribute to that, there is a link in our description where you can go and buy a ticket. You don't got to come to the show, but if you live in Colorado Springs, you want to come out and hang out, absolutely. Get a ticket. We'll see you there. If you want to just contribute and help them out, you can go buy a ticket. It's a $5 ticket, $5 handling fee, and then that just contributes as a vote for them to get into Bratfest at Iowa. If you don't want to buy a ticket, not a big deal. We'd love to see you on the live stream anyways. We'll be live streaming it, so be sure to check out our channel on January 11th. That's it for that. On the screen in front of us, it is Twist-It. The song, I think, is called Bitter, and it's the official music video. So the band is called Twist-It. The song is called Bitter. And then it's their official music video. Now, we had talked a little bit about this last night, but I can't remember what you had told me. It's a band I
found on Instagram. Kind of liked what they had from the little clips, and
said and done.
We're going to check them out.
Cool. I am always down with anything like full band, and it looks like they're very very I don't want to say like new, but very like independent. I think they have like 400 subscribers. This video has like 900 views. 900 views, and I think it was released like a couple weeks ago. So far as I'm concerned, that's pretty good for someone with 400 subscribers. Like, that's damn good. Like, I've got a local band that's been together for 10 years, and our videos don't have that much on YouTube. You know what I mean? So, like, good on these guys. Always down for the full band stuff. I have no idea what we're getting into, what style of music, but we're going to find that
Jackson
out.
Song.
I was like, I like the Jackson.
To be honest,
into that.
I kind of forget what genre we're getting into, but I'm ready for it.
All right, let's get into it. Like, comment, subscribe, please, if you're into this with us. If you're along for the ride, it's that big red button down there. It's totally free for you. It could change our lives forever. Hit that bell, set it to all, and just join the fun, join the shenanigans. We got like 900 videos for you to come check out and hang out. So let's go.
Let's get it.
We may have to adjust some volume, but we'll see. It should be there.
I can't help but wonder if you try. I know I'm good at hiding.
Oh, female drummer, okay.
Fighting things inside my mind. Different thoughts colliding.
Okay.
Connections died. Then it all came crashing down.
Is that 3-piece?
Like dreams.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
What's wrong with my mind? Broken words being wither and left my heart so bitter, bitter, bitter. That's so bitter, bitter, bitter. That's so bitter,
Killer drummer.
Yeah.
Did this?
Those drums sound good.
They sound really good. Did this just come up in your like just like your randoms stuff? Like, how did this come across your page?
So here's the thing with me doing this for you guys. Okay, I'm constantly on Instagram, following new bands, checking out music. Like, I follow Tom McDonald and all the other guys, and because I follow musicians, my algorithm will show me musicians who are similar to them.
Yeah, for sure.
So the past couple weeks, I found like a couple. The what's that one guy that plays the 4-string guitar thing?
Dakota Rogers.
Dakota Rogers.
Benjamin Dakota Rogers.
Run across like a ton of stuff that's similar to what he was. And then it's like, okay, cool, yeah, these guys are kind of cool. They have nothing on YouTube, but I'm going to follow them, keep an eye on them.
Okay.
And then, like, the further and further you go down that path, it goes from, like, bluegrass to country to rock to hip-hop again, back to rap, back to country. Like,
okay.
It changes a lot. So, yeah, it's kind of my algorithm just feeding me things because I follow people.
Now, I got to say... This is an interesting thing. This is one that I haven't seen before, and maybe it's different. But to me, it looks like it's what I suspect it to be. So he's playing the guitar player here. I don't know any of y'all's names. So when you come across this, my apologies at the top. I haven't taken. I'm just meeting you guys for the first time. So
right.
Guitar player looks like is playing through a. It's a Marshall head. I don't know if maybe it's like a JVM 800 or something like that. It's not a JCM, possibly a JVM, or if it is a JCM, it's some maybe more modern-ish version of one. But it looks like and not to be offensive, it looks like one of the like lower end Marshall heads, which is, I mean, it doesn't matter. Cost doesn't matter when it comes to guitar amps. If you're playing heavy distortion, it really doesn't. The speakers make all the difference, which is actually what I wanted to bring up, like where I'm going with this whole thing. Now his cab, I'm looking at a Hartke cab here,
which is known for bass, right?
And so I'm almost certain, and judging by the size of the speakers that I can see in there, I'm almost certain that's a 410 bass cab. And that's
genius.
That's the Hartke that I know is bass cab stuff. Yeah. And I can't remember what how it works. If it's you're not supposed to play a bass through a guitar cab, or you're not supposed to play a guitar through a bass cab. I can't remember which way that works. But obviously, I mean, if it's working for you, then it's working. And it could just be one of those things.
I imagine that has to do a lot with your settings, though, too. Because if I had to imagine, okay, just like a vehicle, when you're doing electrical stuff, a bass emits a certain frequency or puts out a certain amount of hertz or whatever. And, like, the wiring in the speakers are only rated to a certain amount of
for
whatever.
a certain ohmage, usually, I think, is how it works. But, and then again, it depends on, like, how you have your things set into. And maybe they make these amps now that do automatic biasing. So if you plug in one of these heads into, like, a 4 ohm, like my, where did it go? It's down there somewhere. My guitar amp that I use, it's a Seymour Duncan Power Stage. It is a automatic bias. So I can plug it into any ohmage of speaker, and it will automatically just match to that ohmage and just put out what it needs to put out. So maybe that's a thing with other amps too. I'm just not familiar enough. It just caught my eye. I was just like, is this dude really playing through a bass cap? Because
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not going to have a bass player and it works.
And actually, I just thought about that. If you're not going to have a bass player, it's almost like doing like an AB setup through like an ABY pedal, but you're kind of just omitting the pedal and just like using some low end tones with your distortion.
So like if that's what he's doing, that's genius. I don't know why I never thought of that, because
I want to try
those speakers are going to pick up that low end.
I mean, and it's Hartkey speakers. Like, they don't make low end. Hartkey's pretty good. Like, they make some pretty good shit. So
I'll talk to my wife here in a minute.
She knows we're busy.
So what I used to do in my band when we didn't have a bass player for forever.
Okay.
And what I did is I had a 6-string electric guitar that I bought 7-string guitar strings for. And stole that fat one off the 7-string and put it on the top of the 6-string.
Okay.
And because I was rhythm guitarist, it just kind of worked out.
And they actually make strings now that are like gauged that way. Yeah. It's a 6-string set that has that low gauge 7 just as one of the gauges.
And it sounds...
They're meaty.
Pretty fucking nasty.
They're pretty meaty.
Like, I almost wonder if he's not doing that as well. It's hard to tell, but...
1, 2, 3, 6 string. Is he on a 6? He's on a 6-string.
He's on a 6.
I'm pretty sure he's on a 6-string. God, here we go with this thing
again. That upper one looks pretty beefy, though.
It's just a very interesting, and it's possible that that's not the tone they're using for the recording. They could be using amp sims. That's kind of the way of the world now, is amp sims and drum samples, which I have no qualms about any of that stuff. If it works, it's what I use. I use amp sims. I use drum set. I got a electronic drum set back there. Like, I'm definitely using drum samples in my recordings.
Yeah.
And it's just, if it works and it makes a good product, then use it. But like on stage, I would be really interested to hear how that sounds.
Yeah.
I bet it's.
They have some live stuff on their Instagram.
We'll have to check that out. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. I bet it's pretty interesting. Drummer is killing it, by the way. Vocalist, awesome. Like, I love it. It sounds really good so far. I haven't been listening to the words, but I'm digging the music.
I haven't either. That guitar, just something about the tone from that guitar just drags me in.
Shall we press on?
Let's press on.
See, that almost sounds like an acoustic there. It's good. It's good.
I know my spirit's dying. I can't stand the secrets that you wear. Silence whispers crying. Like
okay, get him, bro. Go, dude.
Let's go.
Go, bro. DW drums, I think. Looks like it. So, I can only I didn't
Literally
listen
wasn't room
overly
for that
closely
guy.
to the words in it, but I started.
This is one of those stories that if they ever
hang on, Nick.
Easy now.
This is one of the, I started listening to it like towards the end of it, and I can only assume from what I heard a little bit is it's like a breakup kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like a toxic relationship kind of thing. Went through some experiences. My heart's a little messed up now. I'm a little bitter, and that having a tough time trusting anybody going forward, that kind of thing. I get it. Like, I know exactly what you're going through, okay? Yeah, really good, though. That mix is super solid.
The mix was good. I think overall, now, this has nothing to do with the mix. Well, technically it does, but it doesn't. I feel like the left ratings were a little low for YouTube.
Volume-wise, and that's I was gonna say maybe they haven't had it mastered, which typically if you don't get your stuff mastered, it's gonna tend to run a little quieter, than everything else. But I again, like you said, that doesn't affect the actual mix itself. It's just a volume thing, and I do that. I go through that same thing. It's one of the things I struggle with most in recordings is at the end of the recording, I've got this really slamming sound inside of Cubase, and it sounds great on my dope-ass studio monitors in here. But then you go to transfer it to a car, and you listen to it compared to other stuff, and you're like, wow, it's quiet. And then you come back in here and you try and up the loudness, and then you start getting clipping issues and overcompression because you've already slammed the mix super loud, and there's not any headroom left to make it any louder. And I think that's the main purpose of a mastering engineer, is to make your tracks louder without distorting or ruining them. And it's some sort of wizardry that I don't think I'll ever understand. So. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything about mastering other than you got to put compressors and stuff on your master bus, and there's some sort of, like I said, wizardry that goes into it. You pay some dude money who's done it a bunch of times, and you give him these quiet tracks, and then they come back, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, that was it. That's super loud. It's awesome. It sounds great. But yeah, overall, I think the mix is great.
That was good.
I don't know if you guys are recording on your own or if you're having somebody record for you, but like it's good. The guitars are right where they need to be. The vocals sit on top of the mix, but they're not like overpowering.
Yeah.
They've got the right they've got like that radio blend. Like it's very it's very good. You guys did a very, very good job of this.
I will say the drummer did a fantastic job. A lot of bands, their drummer either looks like they're not there.
Yeah.
They're just like doing the thing. Or it looks like they're working like way too hard.
Way too hard, yeah.
Like she's just back there, enjoying the thing. She's singing along in the background,
actually enjoying herself, which is cool to see.
Like Casey Murata's another one that for sure when you watch him drum, he does that. Ethan from Nixon Rodeo, same way when he drums. Like I love watching those drummers because you can see they're working. They're sweating or whatever.
For sure.
But
they're just having fun.
Like singing along and shouting things.
That's like the mark of a real like passionate, actual, true drummer, or I guess any musician, is when you see them playing their instrument or doing their thing, they just have this genuineness to them. That's like they're not trying to sell anything. It's not faked. It's just you can just tell they're like genuinely happy and in their place. The drummer was definitely selling that for sure.
Ashton from Not Green Day, another great example.
Dude, Ashton is just. He has just that goofy I'm a drummer, I'm having so much fun, like, and it's funny because at the same time he's got this like super light, goofy sense of humor to him. He is hitting the drums so hard that it's just like how can you be so happy and so powerful at the same time, man? It's pretty cool to see.
I tell you what, don't put a wrench in his hand and have him swing it at you. Okay? You're not waking up.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough, a rough go after that. No, this was good, man.
What do you give this for a rating?
I think, I don't like to be critical. It's not fair, especially to an independent band that's like up and coming and doing the thing.
Now here's the thing, okay? Nixon Rodeo is a good independent band that we're very familiar with, compared to, let's say, because these guys would be somewhat competing in, even better, Stubborn Will, because they're a 3-piece. They're competing in the same arena, okay? What would you say?
See, and there's so many factors that go into it for me. Like, I don't want to just be like, this is the first time I've heard you. I've heard Stubborn Will a bunch of times, and I've heard Nixon Rodeo a bunch of times, and I've been following them through their progression and this, that, and the other. I don't know. I think that these guys and Stubborn Will would do great on a bill together.
Yeah.
I think it would be a really, really good bill to see. Which is, I mean, Stubborn Will's a 5 out of 5 in my book. So I think to have you guys on a bill with them would be, you know, it would definitely be a show that I would stay for the whole bill and watch all the bands. You know.
Yeah. I think the only critique I had about the video is I think the lead singer, while you did a good job at communicating the song, singing the song, like everything was perfect there, I feel like you didn't grab my attention. Like I feel like the drummer did a great job, grabbed my attention.
Yeah.
The guitar player did a fantastic job, had my attention. I had a hard time focusing on you, and I don't know if that's just the camera work or whatever. I'd have to rewatch it again. But don't be afraid to like put yourself out there and do some goofy, weird things that feel goofy and weird.
And maybe that's what it is for me. Maybe it's not necessarily so much the performance. Maybe it's the camera work, because I'm used to seeing, and this could be, you know, maybe this is your guys' first video. Again, I don't know anything about you guys. I'm not 100% sure. This is just my first interaction. But if this is like one of your first videos, that's okay.
Yeah.
Your first videos aren't going to be great.
Your first 50 videos.
They're not going to be great. I mean, look at us. If you want examples of it, go back to our first episode of this and watch that.
Watch yesterday's episode. It was a disaster.
It's still not great, you know. But yeah, it's just I'm used to maybe there just needs to be more emotion through cinematography. Yeah. Where like, you know, you get these quick cuts in the camera, and you get
I think the beginning and the very end was really good.
Yeah, with the roses,
with the sink and the roses, and the
that looked good.
That was excellent cinematography. Really nice. But like,
and the lighting was really good there.
To the rest of the performance,
maybe there's too much light in this room. I like the little hanging lights, but maybe there's too much overhead light.
I don't think it's too much light.
I don't know, dude.
Here's where I'm at. Right? Okay, so. Screen cap, Gus. Bring it up.
Bring it on up, dude.
Okay, so we go back to the beginning here. We have
this
scene right here. It's setting up a story, okay?
And this is a beautiful shot right here.
It's a beautiful shot.
This looks really good.
We go through the phone, right? And then you have the introduction produced by Alex Johnson. Shouts out to him. And then you have the band perform a live performance. And then at the end, she throws roses in the sink, right? And then I guess she gets another text at the end. Like, I think it would be cool.
It looks like she's just recapping at the end. She's kind of just
to have something in the middle here, like we did with the 10-4-10 boys, right? We had that whole scene.
That's a good idea.
With him and his girlfriend, and they're going through this thing. But then in between those, you still have the band shots where they're playing, and then it cuts back to they're at the house and he's laying on the floor, and
more cuts to the storyline.
More cuts to the storyline.
Like maybe
I feel like is what I needed.
Maybe the lead singer walking through town and kind of like reminiscing on spots and places they used to hang out, and like where they had moments, you know,
right?
And like little flashbacks,
or like flashbacks to like horrible things happening or whatever. You know,
maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe that's it.
You know, once again, I don't think it's on, you know, maybe it's just the editing didn't turn out, or maybe you guys did take shots like that and you guys just didn't like them and this was the best. I've done that. I have thrown away hundreds of hours of footage.
Yeah. We've thrown away so much footage. It's crazy.
I would dare say thousands of hours.
We've gotten to the point where we're 3/4 of the way through a project and we're like, start from scratch? Yeah, start from scratch. Let's just start over. And again, I don't want you guys to take any of this as like discouraging. Like I'm not. No. It's not. And that's why
we're here for you guys.
Yeah. We're 100%. I want you guys to keep making music and keep putting videos out, and I want to watch you guys progress.
We will be here for it.
We'll be here. We'll put it on the channel.
In fact, we're going to go ahead and do this thing. We're going to
now you got 413.
Subscribe.
And we're following you.
The bell to all.
So you know how this works, and maybe you don't because maybe this is your first time being here. But we've had multiple artists on this channel who, after they get on this channel, they get on the radio.
That's it.
Just saying. And this is a total exaggeration, but like Jelly Roll did it, Teddy Swims did it, Shabuzi did it, I don't know.
Chase Matthew
did it, a handful of other artists did it, okay? So I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but like, you know, beep, beep. No, you guys are great. I think you are well on your way to bigger, better productions, and as long as you stick to it, it can only get better.
And stay independent. Don't be afraid to do DIY thing. Like, if you have a video that comes out and you're like, wow, the coloring in this looks horrible, turn it black and white. Okay, that's the trick.
That is a all-time fail-safe. Like it can't
sepia tone.
It will it will always look
Save
good.
your lighting.
Like It'll save you hours of color grading if you just hit black and white.
Yeah.
Just flip it and call it good, man. We've done that. We've done that too. That's been a thing for us also.
I've done that.
Yeah. Keep it up. We're looking forward to the next release. And again, don't touch your mix. Your mix is great.
Mix is great.
Just maybe find like a free leveler or something that you can use online and just bring the volume up after you're done because they make those things too. So that's the only suggestions I have, man. Way to go, guys.
Well, if y'all enjoyed today's video as much as we did, be sure to leave a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, click the bell, become part of the notification gang. And I better call my wife back.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
you don't want to be in that doghouse tonight.
She'd be like, "Where the fuck are you?" Well, I told you.
What's Tuesday? It's Tuesday. You know where we're at. Come
Wednesday.
On. It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
That's why it feels weird to shoot tonight, because it's Wednesday.
Our whole week has been just off.
Oh, yeah, it has, dude.
Hello? You called?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I did call.
Oh, okay. What's up?
Well, I just didn't know that you were recording again tonight. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call.
No, you're fine. Remember, I just said we had another episode to shoot, and then I'll be home, so...